It had been a series of humdingers. You saw last over finishes in Mumbai and in Pune. But the thing about the best in the business is when they show up, they make it a no contest. That's exactly what's happened in the series decider between India and Sri Lanka and Rajkot. Surya Kumar Yadav letting us know that the calendar might have changed, but his form, his ability stays the same. A Surya special setting up a deciding victory for India in Rajkot, a convincing 91 run win at that. Welcome to ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout. Farveez, Maharoof, and Wasim Jaffer with us as usual. Wasim, I'm going to allow Farveez to take first strike today because I know you're quite kind of bored answering the same question throughout 2022. So Farveez, Surya Kumar Yadav. I know there was the chance of Sri Lanka doing something they hadn't done before and stopping India's run of bilateral series wins in India, but this was just an extraordinary batting display from Surya Kumar Yadav again.
Yeah, I reckon the way he batted. I reckon he deserves a statue of himself. I heard he's from a place called Chembur in central Mumbai. He deserves it. Everything what he gets. I mean, the way he batted, flawless, class, you name it. If a bowler has a plan A, I mean, Surya Kumar had the plan B and C already lined up for the bowler. I mean, I just can't imagine a bowler bowling at him in this form. Simply, the way he hits sixes just for fun.
Yeah, I can see a legend of Mumbai who was grinning ear to ear as you said that. Wasim, you stand with Farvez's take. Build that statue sometime soon.
Well, I hope he's got a long way to go. Yeah, I mean, he's exceptional talent. I wonder how many times, India got 180 plus or even 200 and Surya hasn't scored. I don't think that has happened many times. So, every time India has got 180 plus 200, he's the guy who's made it possible. And when he's in such form, whatever you throw at him, he makes you very helpless as a captain, as a bowler. He's got every answer to whatever you throw at him. So, you just kind of admire, the talent or the quality that he possesses. When he's in that kind of form, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's 300s now for Surya Kumar Yadav in just about 40 odd innings in T20. As only Rohit Sharma with 4 in 140 innings has more. Farvez, when we talk about how to stop him, if you look across the scores, there's not a single bowler he did not dominate. Absolutely went after the pacers. Vanindu Hasaranga kept him to 13 of 11, and that's the only bowler against whom you felt like he wasn't going out of the blocks. But when we talk about Sri Lanka's plans, is there something they could have done different? I have a feeling I know the answer to this, but Darshan Shanaka, we spoke about this. Was why doesn't the captain trust himself to bowl a bit more?
I mean, even the last show, I said it. It's been 2 years I've been asking the question. I haven't got an answer, and still I haven't got it. I mean, if he has the guts to bowl the last two in the last game, took the responsibility, why not today? I mean, you can ask that question. And also, the seventh bowling option is done on the De Silva. With two right-handers going all guns blazing, I understand why the off spinner was not called upon. But when Dasun Shanak as the captain, he could have taken at least to break the rhythm of that innings. I mean, when a bowler is being targeted and you're having an off day and a batsman is having a good day, you just want to challenge the batsman with different combinations, different actions. So this is what you can do as a captain. But unfortunately, Dasun, I think he missed a trick there. Also, if I put my shoes in a bowling at the moment for Surya Kumar Yadav, so generally when it comes to hitters, you have the hitters who are very strong down the ground and probably mid wicket. What you can do is if you're bowling the death overs, you could always can have the fine leg up and put them back. In Surya Kumar's case, if fine leg is in, he's so good at playing this ram, he'll play that. As soon as the fine leg goes back and one of the fielders, either mid off or mid on or mid wicket comes in, he targets that area and he times it so well. So I reckon when it comes to Surya Kumar, I mean, recent past, apart from AB de Villiers, who was a 360 player and he was probably more powerful than Surya Kumar. But since AB is retired now, I think Surya Kumar Yadav has taken it over and he will only get better the way he's batting. And if he gets at least a bit more power, I mean, I'm saying that he has the power, but if he can match what AB had it, he'll be someone, it will be hard to bowl in any form of cricket.
Yeah, it's a big statement, Surya Kumar Yadav, AB de Villiers. But the fact that Farvez is not the first to bring up that comparison just goes to show what kind of form Surya Kumar Yadav has been in. Now, Wasim, it's a no-brainer that he is the best in the business presently. But how much with the weight of the runs, with the consistency, and the fact that he continues to be astounding with each of these innings. Where do you now rank him if you look at the all-time T20I batters?
Oh, I think he'll stand on top of that list without a doubt. 300s in not so many innings, and the kind of impact that he brings in the game. In today's game, he was the game changer. I mean, his innings is the that sets the apart the game completely. And every bowler, whoever have done well even before, you just kind of want him to get out and play a bad shot or miss time. Otherwise, if he plays like that, like I said, whatever you throw at him, he's got an answer to that. And from India's perspective, I feel India doesn't need to stay so many over dependent on Surya. I feel sometimes I feel, when we have to score 180, 200, he's the guy who does it most of the time. The other guys need to step up in the sense with the strike rate. I feel, he's the guy. He's always the go-to guy. But the other guys, I feel, need to stand up. Whether it's a top order or whether somebody as a finisher, I thought Aksar had a fantastic series. But I think from India's perspective going forward, the other guys need to step up as well.
Right, so that's Surya Kumar Yadav. His 112 not out, of course, leading India to 228 with 115 of those runs coming in the last 8 overs. Now, Farveez, what about the Sri Lanka batting? You've answered about the bowling. When obviously 230 becomes that kind of score where you can't think too much. But what do you think? What could have been different about the chase as the way it went out?
When you're chasing 229, it's either a getaway or hit out or get out. So that's that sort of a thing. That's how you play international cricket to win every game in any situation. That's what Sri Lanka try to do. Yes, one or two batters did struggle, and it can happen. It can happen. I mean, when you go hard with the new ball, it's not easy. But Sri Lanka did have a decent start, but ever since then, the way the spinners bowl, ever since how Hardik Pandya started the innings, and even Arshdeep Singh, they had their battles. So I reckon, more than Sri Lanka batting bad, I think they were batted out in the first innings by India when you have 228 runs on the board, and the ball was doing a bit with the new ball, and then with the older ball, Akshar Patel actually got it to grip as well. That goes to show there was, absolutely no dew at all and in the ground. So it makes it really harder. So I reckon more than Sri Lanka batted badly, they were batted out in the first innings.
Right. In that sense, of course, this game becomes tough to rate much on the basis of this chase. But if you look at the top of the order, Farvez, and I want to ask a more broad-based question here. Patum Nisanka, even in the last game, as Sri Lanka made 206, scored 33 of 35. Today, chasing 230, it was 15 of 17. It's a career T20I strike rate of 112. In the last 10 odd games, it's barely 100. Is that a concerning sign given the way T20 cricket has moved? You can't be batting at a run a ball at the top of the order.
Yeah, indeed, you can say that. But how I look at it is, I mean, if you look at how Sri Lanka had success in the last year's Asia Cup, Pathum Nissanka was a crucial part of that batting order. He did a fantastic job. Even in the World Cup, he had some decent knocks. So, I mean, yes, when it comes to striker, even in the commentary, Sunny Gavaskar did say that he has to work on his striker, which I believe as well. At least 125, 130 being the opening batsman. I mean, he's a technically sound and he doesn't take much tricks with the new ball, but on some days like this today when you have to go from the probably the first second ball, I think that's the days that he will probably struggle. But if still, I will still have faith in him because I've seen that boy grow up from being a schoolboy cricketer to the level he has reached. Yes, he has to polish his T20 game, but I will still back him to get it right because when it comes to talented Sri Lankan top order batsmen, to be honest, we don't have much going around in the system. So we got to be wary how we use our resources. And definitely for me, I will still back Pathum Nissank and try and get him to get that strike rate close to 125, and that will make that the middle order's job pretty easier comparing to the top order.
Right? We'll wait to see how Sri Lanka go about their T20 cricket as they embark on a run. Of course, the next T20 World Cup is still a year and a half away. Let's look at India's bowling now, Wasim and Farvez, and more from a series perspective. Where better to begin, Wasim, than Umran Malik? Finishes the series as the leading wicket taker. How happy are you to see his progress? He played a few games last year. Now he's got these three consistent games in this series. How do you assess his progress?
I thought he improved considerably. Since I saw him in the IPL, I thought this format he'll always be expensive because he doesn't have too much variation. He doesn't bowl too many slow balls. I mean, when you bowl 145, 150 clicks, sometimes you need to beat the batters with the lack of pace as well at times. Uh, Anything that comes with pace, goes out of the ground, or maybe the batters are smart enough to use that pace as well. But I thought the lines and the length that is bowled, has improved considerably, and he's got that wicket-taking ability. He's been expensive in the games, but I thought he picked up crucial wickets. So he's shown considerable improvement since I saw him in the IPL.
Always, let's get the fast bowlers word. What would you be telling Umran Malik right now? A confidence boosting series to finish with 7 wickets, consistent returns. What does he do to keep growing his game further, especially in the shortest format?
Is an asset. If I'm the captain of a team which I have Umran Malik in my team, I'll be the happiest because he can bowl with the new ball. He can come in the middle overs and bowl with real venom, having mid on, mid off up, three fielders on the leg side, two in the offside, bowl short, and try and unsettle the batsman. He got everything. But as Wasim said, what he lacks is a slow delivery, which I picked up as well quite a while ago. So if he can develop a variation or two, just to start with, just to create that doubt on batsman's mind, I think he'll be a successful bowler. Imagine Jasprit Bumrah with Umran Malik, who is a complete bowler with a slow ball. That's a tremendous attack going forward. So I reckon if that boy can create one or two variations, I reckon he'll be a handful in any team he plays in.
That's Umran Malik done. Wasim, when after the first T20I, you raised concerns about spin, which wasn't just based on that one game, it's a longer trend. How much more impressed were you by the way Akshat Patel and Yuzvendra Chahal bowled in the next 2 games, where both of them were among the wickets and also kept things tight?
Yeah, I thought Yuzvendra Chahal, he has that tendency. You'll see him have an off day every now and then, but he comes back. He comes back stronger, and that's exactly what he did in this series as well. He picked a couple of really important wickets today as well. Aksar has been a find, I would say. His bowling has been pretty good. He's bowled in the power play before this series, but his batting has come on really nicely. And the bowling on the bowling front, I thought he bowled with very good pace as well. Sometimes I feel he just floats it in, but I think he used the pace really well. Hit the pitch hard and got some purchase out of it. So I would say, both the spinners after the first game, they improved considerably.
Right, and the final word I'd like from both of you is on Hardik Pandya, not the captain, not the batter, but the bowler. Most of India would have skipped a beat when you saw him holding up towards the end of that first game. Not least all the physios who worked on him over the last few years. But he finished this series having bowled in every game, bowled 9 overs, bowled consistently, took the new ball. Farveez, first word to you. Hardik Pandya, the bowler, good signs given all the fitness issues he's carried over the recent past.
100%. I think he will bring that balance at number 6 or number 7 for the Indian ODI team, which is going to be a big year for India hosting the World Cup. I reckon Hardik Pandya, a fully fit Hardik Pandya, even though if he can't bowl 10 overs, at least if India can get away with 4 to 5 overs from him, and another all-rounder in Akshar Patel can bowl the 10 overs, or maybe Ravindra Jadeja, whoever plays, I reckon that will be a formidable lineup. So Hardik Pandya for me with the new ball, 2 3 overs, the way he's bowling. I mean, today we saw how he set up Pathum Nissanka at the first delivery. I reckon Pathum Nissanka was waiting till Hardik ball is genuine stock ball, which is to go away from the right hander, and he threw in in swinger in. So that goes to show the control Hardik Pandya has with the new ball. So it's great signs going forward. Yes, his workload got to be managed. He's coming back after a serious back injury, so he has to play competitive cricket. But how you get into him by playing competitive cricket is very important. Not to push him right away. You should go baby steps and hopefully build him up. Probably come the World Cup time, I reckon he'll be the game changer at number 6 and number 7. What India is looking for.
Wasim?
Yeah, I think Hardik Pandya with the new ball, I think he's an asset. That's probably the best spot for him. He's done that for the IPL franchise, and he bowls that length, where the batters don't like it, and he bowls at close to 140 clicks, and he bowls that length, taking the ball away, and then he can brings it in as well. He uses the short ball well, so he's got you know couple of variations which he uses is really well. And if you can get him couple of overs from him in the power play, he's pretty good enough to bowl a couple even after power play. The fitness is only an issue, but I think after the first game and the little hiccup, I thought he bounced back really nicely. He bowled, really really well even today. The batter Hardik Pandya, I thought didn't turn up like we had expected, even though he didn't have much to do today. But I thought as a bowler or as a captain, he's been spot on.
Right, so a good start for Hardik Pandya. His first series as captain at home. Of course, this one it helps India continue a run of being unbeaten in bilateral T20I series since Feb 2019. Sri Lanka's wait continues for a bilateral series win in India. They will, of course, try and correct that in the ODI series, for which both these gentlemen we hope to be joined by you, Wasim, Jaffer, Farveez, Maharoof. Thanks for your company during the T20Is. Look forward to it as the ODI series begins. We'll be covering that. Catch ESPN Cricket for Match Day right after the end of the first ODI on Tuesday. That's all for now. Thank you. Good night.